Alrighty, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Coach Apxche, and today we're going to be doing a VOD review for Mo Doja on Doctor Strange. So we will only be reviewing offense because defense will be on Wolverine. And I'm not really too fond of the coaching a whole bunch of switches. It's a little different if it's in one half because, then we have to kind of look at it. But for the most part, if we can only look at one character, we'll do on that. We'll focus that. So real quick, I won't go too deep into abilities because I think by now y'all know that. But shield for shielding, shift, mobility, your portal, right? That's gonna be for mobility and things like that. And then your explosion for extra damage. And your ult is an AOE stun, right? So pretty basic for anybody who doesn't know Doctor Strange. Not gonna dive too deep in it. So like I said, we're gonna talk about it while we play the game. But if we look at your comp, you have a Black Panther, a Spider-Man, and a Venom, right? So if I'm being entirely honest, right, your team comp is all over the place, right? You got a support that can only really support you. You have a Luna who can heal them through you, but you have a very fast team comp. So if I see that and I'm you, my thought process is, hey, you guys want to dive something, right? To dive things, you have to use cooldowns. So what better thing to do than to port them in so that they don't have to use cooldowns? You can send them anywhere you want on the map with a cooldown. So with that being said, I would pop portal early. I'm looking for the person that's most vulnerable, which is probably going to be the Moon Knight, right? Or one of the supports. And I'm putting a portal on them. You can put the portal right here, right? Venom can slam down on here. BP can drop down, right? And y'all can, this guy is isolated, right? And just delete this guy, right? Why not give your fast DPS who require cooldowns to commit on things a cooldown that basically gives them all a Venom dash? Why not do it, right? That's what I would do. I would tell them, hey, I'm going to port y'all in. Just go. Yeah. Okay. So if they're not going to contest the choke, and your team's your Spider-Man's pulling attention, but they're not really going in, I'm either going to one jump up here and contest this height, or I'm going to just maybe help the cart go a little bit faster if we're really not doing anything. But I like contesting the high ground with the Black Panther here, if I'm being honest. Nice, good damage. So one thing too about Doctor Strange is you're actually really good at contesting flyers because you can float. So if I would have saw that Iron Man there, I would have floated up and I would have fought him. I would have fought him because they don't really have great damage to poke you out because he's not a hit scan, right? The support's not gonna do that much damage, and you should be getting healed. So you quite literally probably could have finished this kill because if you see how low he is because of everybody else hitting him, he probably would have died, right? So don't be afraid to contest flyers. It's Strange, especially with your charge. But you don't have updraft right now. Yourself healthy. Keep fighting him. Why drop? Spider-Man got the job done though. You can press him. Just keep meleeing him. He's not going to drop his shield. Just keep meleeing. Don't even waste your time shooting him. Just keep meleeing his shield because you're going to do damage through. Ooh. He didn't get nobody for it. Nothing's going to die. So if I'm you here, I'm looking to set up for a no opportunity. Yeah. I'm not worried about fighting anything right now because nothing's going to die. You don't have the damage. Nice. Oh. Nice. There'll still be a fight win. They're on a Wolverine now, so you gotta be careful with getting pulled. The cart has to move, so I would just set up one high ground if you get a chance. Careful for ults. Yeah. I would sit on high ground. Yeah, I don't really understand why we're chasing the one thing that can kill you, especially when he has a support with him. I feel like a lot of times, like you play really flat, and you're in Diamond 1. You're gonna be GM soon if you're not GM already. And especially as you climb the ranks, like we really, really, really need to be abusing high grounds. You have a character that can get high ground for free. You're telling me you can play up here. You have a player to play behind. You're telling me you can contest this and help your team, right? It's like we're playing flat, and not only are you playing flat, but we're playing flat into a Wolverine. This guy wants to fight you. He wants this fight. Don't give him that fight. If he's gonna switch to Wolverine, make it as hard as possible for him to get value. Because if he can't get value, that swap was for nothing. If he has to chase you to awkward angles to try to pull you, it's bad, right? Like you don't want to give him. If you know that he's playing here, why not just go up? Okay, now he can't fight you unless he contests you, and if he contests you, oh, you drop down. You know he's up there now, right? So now you get away from him, right? He drops down, he's chasing you, you float up again, right? He chases you. You know what I'm saying? Like you just stay away from him. Really abuse your mobility. And we switch to the Wolverine. Interesting. But I guess we're not going to be talking only about Strange. We're going to head into the Wolverine. Good pull. I think my biggest criticism of your Wolverine right now is that when you're not like actively always trying to pull them into your team. Sometimes you're just going for those leaps and just knocking them up and trying to fight them. Like knocking them back into their back line and basically allowing their team to help them is like just night and day for pulling them into your team. Hey. You're rushing. And for it. You're also your timing's super off. Look at your team and look at you. You're dead and your team's not even in the choke. Like you're going way too fast. You gotta slow down, man. Like I would much rather you be back here doing nothing, waiting, waiting, waiting. Okay, a fight broke out. Now you look for a pull, right? You want to pull tanks when they're not expecting or when they're in bad positions. If they see you, they're gonna actively avoid you and not allow you to get that pull. Hence, that play right there, you went for a pull and you missed because they're aware of you and they made it hard for you to get that pull, right? It's just like you're going too early. Like I said, just be really mindful of your teammates. So right now you can't really do anything, so your mindset should be, how can I position myself to get a really nice pull? It's about to come up. You get a nice ult off though. Now if you were playing for that, that's fine too. But for the most part, I would say just make sure when you can't kill things, just be thinking about what you can do. Ooh, that's a free kill. Snatcher. Oh, you can't miss that, man. Come on. That was free. She had no idea you were there. So, preferably, you would get a mark from Yulina, which you do, which is cool. Okay, I like your crosshair, man. So, I'm not a fan of you playing so far back here. I would do two things. I would either play really close right here, like underneath, because you're really short, or I would play up here. And I would kind of just get. Well, I would probably start here real quick, make sure nobody pushes on me right away. And then maybe I come up here and I look to kind of just let them go by, and then once they're underneath the bridge here, then I can drop down and grab somebody, pull them in, right? But I'm looking for a pool. I'm not looking to really contest anything. So if you're just sitting here, you're not really getting information, right? You're relying on your team to feed you information, which for the most part, especially at your rank, Diamond, and even Grandmaster, no one's going to tell you nothing, right? So you need to get information on your own. Rely on yourself. Don't rely on your teammates. Oh, you're going to get grabbed. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. This is not good because you're losing a lot of space, right? So when we think about Wolverine, right? I should have went over this earlier, but what you do percentage-based damage. So basically, the same amount of time that it will take you to kill a Luna Snow, it will take you to kill a Hulk, in a sense, right? So with that being said, that means you do more damage to the Hulk. So you really want to be making sure that you're focusing on the tanks, right? So going for that grab on Moon Knight was very ambitious. In my opinion, I would have waited a little bit longer to see if anybody's if I want to play here to see if anybody's gonna push, so I get that information. If not, I'm just gonna chill here. I'm gonna chill here and look for a bull in the tank, right? I don't care about anybody else. I want to bully tanks. Diagram time. I mean, you already know, but for anybody who doesn't know, we need a flat surface. Okay. So, Wolverine. Right? Wolverine. When you do your Pharaoh leap, it's not in a line. It's an arc, right? So with that being said, if you have an enemy that's right here, you're never gonna hit him if you're too far away. You have to be literally in this guy's skin. You have to be like right on top of him so that you can dash through him. So the way that I like to go about it is like pretend this is the enemy. I like to be like this, man. I want to be literally in their armpit, like because missing a dash is really bad. It's really bad. So like I definitely would really focus on just making sure like you're like basically you're touching the person. Yeah. Yeah. I think you're brawling a little too much when you're basically like a glorified Bucky pool. So right now, like you remember how I told you that this cooldown is so short? You could quite literally just jump and use your dash to get up here, contest this shark, and then if he wants to come this way, you can probably pull him back into your team, unless he goes underground, right? But you can force him out. So basically you could use that dash to get positioning to force somebody out, and then now you have an access to a lane where you can kind of like peek through. Oh, they're not paying attention to me. Drop down, dash into the tank, hit him with a slash, pull him in, right? It's like you're really not abusing that mobility that you have. You're playing too flat. I didn't even see who you were trying to leap there. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I forgot you have one too. Okay. Nice. Let him go. Right now, I would use this time to set up. I would want to hide like here, just in case they don't push up. I would like try to get like here, because if anything comes up there, I could always just like dash. I can like use my short dash and long dash to get out. But like if I can get here and they don't notice that I'm here, I can dash in here, hit a tank, and pull them in. Right? Like you want to set yourself up in positions for pulls. No reason to be backing up here. So like, and this is just a general thing too to talk about. You guys just won the fight, right? And this is a choke right here, right? This is a choke point. You're telling me you won the fight, right? So you've earned basically all of any space behind this is yours, right? See where your guy's at? Why are we backing up? I get if we want to fight the corner, but like we should be like staged up here, or like if you want to be real, if you want to be a little bit more risky here, right? But like we should be in positions to be ready for a pull. We're backing up though. It's like, what are we gonna do here? And I'm gonna watch from overhead for a bit just to see kind of like where you go. But like, look at this. Why? Look at all this space they're getting for free, and you're not in a position to punish anything about it. Now you walk up. Yeah, it's like, look at that. We're giving them the card, giving them space. Oh, Lord. I actually don't believe that this is Diamond GM. This is crazy. Now look at this. Look, look, look. No contestation. They broke the choke for free. And they're just walking it in, they're walking it up. Almost none of this matters because they're just moving it. Mm-mm. Like you win that fight, but like if the enemy team would have just played it better, it would have been really scary for y'all. It's a good pull. Nice peel. Nice, good cancel. I was a little worried you weren't gonna hit that because I kind of saw that coming. Oop, you don't have thing. Damn. Damn, so it doesn't take his cooldown because you canceled it? That's crazy. Alrighty, and these are going to be the notes for this VOD review. So number one is going to be enable your team as a tank, right? This can be using certain abilities to give them an advantage in their fights, to focusing a specific enemy to create openings for your team to do things. Prime examples could be instead of allowing your Venom and all those other dive characters just to use their abilities to dive in, giving them a portal that's going to put them right on top of the enemy, which is going to then force them to use their movement abilities. And now your dive characters can use their movement abilities instead of having to use them to go in, as well as it just kind of like speeds up the tempo and allows your fast characters to play even faster. Another thing is when it comes to like focusing a specific enemy, let's say that the enemy team comp really relies on you know not getting poked out by a backliner, right? And let's say you're like on a Groot or something, and you're using walls to just constantly cut off their line of sight. Even if you're not damaging them, you're doing something that disables their playstyle to make it easier for your team, right? So just look for ways to help your team because even though you're a tank and your job's to fight for space and to contest certain areas, right? You also need to be thinking about how can I make my teammates' lives easier? Because if their life is easier, your game will be easier because then they're doing more, right? Number two, man, abuse high grounds and power positions. A lot of that game, whether you're on Strange or you're on the Wolverine, you're just playing in the main lane, playing flat. Yeah, there were times you took flank routes, good job. But there's a lot of times where you can just take height, right? And now you have to shoot down on an enemy and they have to shoot up at you or they're melee so they can't even touch you, but you can touch them because you have the range, right? It's like really abuse the map and the power positions that it gives you. If we're just constantly sitting in main, just banging heads together, like you're only gonna get so far. You gotta take positional advantages, right? You gotta make the game harder for the enemy. Every advantage you can get in this game to make your job easier, you take that. You don't want a fair fight. You know, like there is no such thing as a fair fight. You take every unfair advantage you can get. You know what I'm saying? I think the saying goes, the only fair fight is the fight that you win. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't care. Then for note number three, right, it's going to be entering fights at the right time. Timing is super important. You could be making the right play, but just at the wrong time, and it won't work out. If you're flanking, unless you're 100% sure that you can get the pick by yourself with no help, allow your team to pull aggro first. Let them walk in. Let them pull attention. Let them, shoot their weapons, which will kind of drown out your footsteps to allow you to sneak up, whether it be on Wolverine we're looking for a pull, whether it be on Magic as you're going in, whether it be you're a tank that they forgot about in the backline and you're looking for a note, right? It's like just Think about that, right? Like a lot of times people just go in way too early, even myself included sometimes, and then I catch myself like, dang, if I would have waited 2 more seconds, I would have got a kill or two or three. All I have to do is just wait, be patient. Even though this game can have moments where the tempo is very, very, very fast, doesn't mean that everything you do has to be at that tempo. You know what I'm saying? You sometimes you gotta take it one step at a time, one step at a time. And with that being said, that's going to be it for this VOD. This one was a little quicker than usual. The game was pretty short, which I kind of like. So I'm able to kind of get in and get out. But with that being said, if anybody else is looking for any coaching, all you got to do is join my Discord. The link will be in the description. And then just submit using the template that I have, a submission for a VOD review. And yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from this video as well as enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.